Hello, everybody. Welcome to Portsmouth this week. We're very happy to have a couple of representatives from a very active organization called Clear Ocean Access. Put that in your pipe. How do you like that one? They are Eva Touhey. She's from my far left here. She's the program manager. And nearest me is Kaitlyn Reed. That's Kaitlyn with a Y in case you're interested. And she's the Zero Waste Coordinator. Welcome to the show. So glad to see you.
Thank you for having us.
Eva, why don't you give us a little idea of what the organization is, how old is it?
Sure.
Yeah, ground us, will you?
All right. So Clean Ocean Access started as a grassroots organization in 2006. We officially became a nonprofit in 2014. And since then, we went from, in 2014 when we became a nonprofit, we didn't have an office, and Dave McLaughlin, who's our executive director, was the only paid employee. I came onto the team in spring of 2015 as the only intern, and now we have about 7 full-time employees and an office, and we're actually in the midst of moving into a quite larger space, so a lot has gone on in the past 6 years.
Where are you now? You're in Johnny Cake Land? Are you still in that area up in the Middletown?
Yep, in the Quidnick Corporate Park.
Right,
yeah.
Right. That's great. How many people are in the organization? I mean, plus or minus. There must be a great fluency. Some come, some go, some stay, some.
Right now, we're at 7 full-time employees. We have one part-time resource right now, and we also have 6 interns. So every semester we have about 4 to 6 college interns. We also have 2 high school interns that have been with us for several months, coming in once a week. And we also have a board of directors, and right now we have 3 members on our board.
It sounds like it's growing and it's thriving. Now, Kaitlyn, I have to ask, clearly, by your appearance and your talk, you're not from Rhode Island. I kid you. How did you get out? You're from South Carolina?
I'm from North Carolina.
North Carolina.
Yes.
Excuse me.
Born and raised.
How did you come to get involved with Clear Ocean Access?
Yeah. So I came to Clean Ocean Access just in January of 2020. I actually moved to New England in January of 2019. I went to Appalachian State University in Boone, North Carolina, and I graduated with a degree in sustainable development, and that brought me to an internship in Buzzards Bay, Mass. At the National Marine Life Center. So I spent 6 months doing seal and sea turtle rehab, and then I decided, I was like, all right, I kind of like it up here. And so I stayed, and now here I am, full-time at Clean Ocean Access.
We're happy to have you.
I'm happy to be here for sure.
I'm glad to hear that.
Thank you.
Eva or Kaitlyn, whoever feels comfortable, what is the focus of the group? From the title of the group, I would be very dumb if I didn't know what the Clear Ocean Access Group does, but what are the focus of some of your projects?
Yeah, so our mission is action today so future generations can enjoy ocean activities. So everything that we do relates to us somehow, any way to enjoy the ocean. But we have 3 core programming areas, so clean, ocean, and access. So our clean program focuses on eliminating marine debris. Our ocean program focuses on improving water quality, both the water that we drink and the water that we swim in. And our access program focuses on protecting and preserving public access to the shoreline.
You know, it's kind of interesting. When you grew up in my era, we just thought the ocean was pretty big and you could throw anything in it and it would just kind of clean itself. But we're finding, obviously, that our presence, human beings, is messing it up a bit, and calls for people like you and Kaitlyn to get involved in keeping track of the quality of the water. I always think of you people with a bag and one of those plungers going up and down the beach. picking up whatever you can find, but there's more to it than that. You do some water testing.
Yep. Yeah, so I guess I'll dive in a little bit more of what we do in our core programming.
Go ahead.
So our clean program, eliminating marine debris, so has sort of 3 areas. So we run beach cleanups on a monthly basis that we host and are open to the public. We also have partner cleanups, which businesses, school groups, other organizations can sort of adopt an area of coastline and clean it on their own time on a monthly basis. We also work with Statues Point National Wildlife Refuge, and we clean segments of their coastline every month. They actually have 8 public access ways along their Ocean Loop Trail. And then within our clean program, we have 2 grant-funded projects. I should say 3 actually grant-funded projects. We have our Marina Trash Skimmer program. We have our Healthy Soils, Healthy Seas.
Trash skimmer program?
Marina Trash Skimmer program, yes. So marina trash skimmers are basically floating dumpsters, if you can visualize that. And they sit and collect floating marine debris and oil sheen off the surfaces of harbors and marinas that have localized debris issues. There's actually one here in Portsmouth in partnership with New England Boat Works. Yeah, we also have one in Newport in Parati Park in partnership with the city of Newport. But that's our Marina Trash Skimmer program, and then we also have our Healthy Soils, Healthy Seas
You
Rhode
talk
Island
too fast,
project.
I can't hear you.
We have our Healthy Soils, Healthy Seas Rhode Island project.
Healthy soil, healthy seed.
Yes.
Oh, what does that involve?
What is that?
Yeah,
Kaitlyn?
what is that? So the Healthy Soils, Healthy Seas Rhode Island project is actually pretty incredible. It's based on improving ocean health starts on land. And the program began in 2018 and has grown in 2019 to the point where Clean Ocean Access needed a full-time resource to help make Healthy Soils, Healthy Seas Rhode Island happen. And so that's how I came to be at Clean Ocean Access. And it's pretty great. We work with residents and community members and businesses and organizations on Aquidneck Island, so including Portsmouth, to help them compost. And it's basically the idea that composting helps to eliminate marine debris, promote environmental stewardship, and overall help us to learn better waste management.
I can see how the organization has benefited from a background like this. And what caught me when you were describing your background was sustainable. That's the magic word today. And and I can see where she fits right in, huh?
Thank you.
Is she easy to get along with?
Uh-oh. All right, good.
Speaking of composting, you have an event coming up, what is it, on March 5th? Well, tell us about that. It's you're going to have, it's a Wednesday, and what's going to happen at this composting event that you're doing?
Yeah, on March 5th, we are hosting Green Drinks. It's a monthly program that actually began in 2006 when Clean Ocean Access was founded. And basically, once a month, we offer drinks and, light refreshment, maybe a snack, and we discuss different environmental issues that are affecting our community.
Do you get any work done with the green drinks?
Not, no.
Drinks aren't actually green.
Oh.
Right.
Oh, I get it.
It's like it's green, like
naive me.
I know.
Bummer. It's March though. I have some Irish heritage. I could get down with actually making them green. We'll have early St. Patrick's
You guys
Day.
sound like you're having too much fun
Maybe
doing
we
a
are.
very worthwhile job, I might add.
Yeah.
You have some other events. What is it on the 12th? This is flat. What is flat waves?
Yeah,
What is
so
that all about?
This year we started this fundraising event called Eat for COA. So we've partnered with a few restaurants in town, and they, for a time during their hours, I think it's between 4 and 10 p.m. or 4 and 8, I believe, at Flat Waves, you can go, and 10% of the food and drink sales will go to Clean Ocean Access. So we've actually partnered with Diego's Cantina in Middletown. We worked with the Wharf Pub in downtown Newport. We're working with Bar and Board and also Flat Waves. So it's been a really fun way to
Yeah, well, I hope
people.
as a result of this program you'll draw even more fun seekers.
Hope so.
What beach cleanup that's scheduled at Brenton Point on the 21st of March? And you know, it strikes me that you probably have very little difficulty getting help, volunteers to do these things.
We have, so far in January, February, I think we've had over close to 100 to 150 people attend all 3 of our beach cleanups so far.
Yeah, I just sense, although I haven't been there to any of them, and don't invite me because I can't walk anyway, but it just strikes me that your generation, your people, are very conscious of the environment and the ocean, and a responsibility to take care of it. So if you get the word out that you need people to come and clean up the shore, I would imagine there's a lot of stomping on the beach very quickly, and that's good. That's really good, because there's such a capacity to say, let somebody else do it, or maybe the Department of Public Works can do it. We're kind of busy, but you folks are not like that. So I'm impressed.
It's a great way to get community service hours for school.
Yes.
Oh, yes, community service hours. Do you have anybody from the court systems that
No.
The court system.
Well, I mean, somebody who's up for trial, and instead of a fine or imprisonment, they say community work, and you would be included. Do you have?
Yeah, I mean, people have reached out to us saying that they need like 10 hours of community service in a certain amount of time, and we're like, here's what we've got going on.
Yeah.
We're happy to help. I mean, we are a community science-driven organization, so all of the data that we collect and share with the community and all of our core programming efforts are accomplished through volunteers. So as much as we are not, our staff mainly works in our office, while all of the boots on the ground work is actually really accomplished through our volunteers.
Well, that's true of so many so-called non-profit groups. You need people like yourselves to sort of manage and program and schedule and organize, but then you need, as you said, the boots people. What kinds of monitoring things that you do involving cleaning up, but in addition to cleaning up what people have left, what else do you do that fits in the category of keeping an eye on things and making sure everything is...
So one really cool thing that we do at all of our beach cleanups is tally sheets, which is, it's literally a tally sheet of what kinds of trash we find, right? So did you find cigarette butts? Did you find, you know, mainly plastic water bottles? And that's a really cool way to analyze data and to see, you know, the most common trash that's found on our beaches. Yeah.
And I would add to that, so with all of our 3 core programming areas, Clean Ocean Access, we do have that monitoring and data analysis component. So with our ocean program, we collect water samples, but we also, so we test a set for bacteria, so we get those results back, and then we test 2 other locations for nitrogen and phosphorus, which are common stormwater pollutants. And so we have that data that we're able to analyze. And then for public access, we also have volunteers that go out and actually monitor and take site surveys of each of the 50 public rights-of-ways on Aquidneck Island.
What do you mean by site surveys?
So they...
See what's going on, I mean, just observation?
Yeah, it's an observational survey. So they measure for if there's proper signage, if there's parking available, who's using the public access way, if there's erosion, encroachment, vegetation overgrowth, vandalism, that type of thing. And then we use that data to update our quarterly access reports, and then we also, if there is a major issue at a public right-of-way, we'll actually contact the city or the town and work with them to make sure that it gets addressed.
What is the sampling? That's sort of scientific or technical. You don't do that part, do you? I mean, you take the samples, but do you drop a little pill in there to see if it turns purple? Or?
So, sort of, we do. So,
you do?
So, we collect 12 water samples at coastal locations, and those get tested for an indicator of bacteria, and we send those samples up to the Rhode Island Department of Health's lab every Thursday, and they do the testing for that, and then they send us the results back on Friday afternoon. But when we test for nitrogen and phosphorus at 8 locations, we actually do that testing in our office, and that's all done by a volunteer using a pretty simple test kit that anyone can purchase and use. So.
I think I admire the sort of emphasis on research. The morning paper had an article on it was another paper on microplastics, and there's a group out on the West Coast that's just trying to gather information on how serious this problem is. So before you do anything, before you move to legislation or whatever, you need to have the data, huh? This is such a data-driven society. Well, that's fascinating. Now, how about the public access? Is that much of a problem? There's always an article in a paper of some people who are near the shoreline and decide they own it, and so do you find that that's a problem as you go around the beaches, that the access to the water is maintained?
So on Aquidneck Island, there's 50 publicly designated rights-of-ways.
Okay.
So that's working with the Coastal Resource Management Council and each city or town. And so we work to make sure that those 50 remain open and available to the public.
Yeah.
And the interesting thing is public access isn't uniform. So some of them might have boat ramps, some of them might be in between private property, some might have stairs, some might not have an easy way to get actually to the water.
Yeah.
So we have been, I guess it's sort of a case-by-case basis, but we definitely make sure that those areas remain open and available.
I noticed some years ago now that those posts were put in with little signs saying this is a beach access, so forth. And as I understand it, Rhode Island state law says that the beaches, the public has access to beaches, period, everywhere. And so the access, those little places where you can go. And there's such a temptation for money to come in and swallow up and put a nice tall hotel so that there's no beach anymore. I've been doing this too long. Anyway, tell us a bit about the internship program. I'm always fascinated by how young people get involved. How does that work?
Yeah, so our internship program has definitely evolved over the years, but I would say we have a pretty solid internship program now. So we offer internships every semester, so the fall, spring semester, and during the summer, and they're usually to complement our environmental science, so our core programming efforts. We have a development intern that works with our development fundraising team. And then we also have a communications and marketing internship.
Communication and marketing, huh? Yeah. That's interesting.
Yeah, and so we have successfully had interns from Salve, Roger Williams, URI, Bryant, Rhode Island College. And then in the summer, we tend to have interns that come back and are here for the summer but may go to school elsewhere around the country. And we've also had a few high school interns as well.
I took note that most of the people you talked about were college students, and I wondered if people under 18 present a problem as interns compared to, quote, adults.
I don't think so.
No.
I mean, we have 3 high school interns that they come after school on Mondays, and they're amazing help, and they do a really great job. And I think we love the idea of working with schools. We do a lot of programs with, elementary, middle, and high school students.
I was going to ask that. As a former educator, I guess one forever, an educator, I was curious about the educational component of your operation, outreach.
Yeah.
Do you go into schools? You go into you do presentations in elementary and middle and high?
I would say that our environmental education is very mission-based, so we don't really teach anything that we don't do as an organization itself. So our educational programs focus around plastic pollution, the watershed, ocean health, composting now, and also public access and getting kids outside. And so we're actually just launched our first in-school program. It's a composting education initiative that's happening within school and also as an after-school program at Gaudet Middle School, working with 5th graders, Thompson Middle School, and Jamestown Middle School. And so our education has sort of started as we would do supplemental materials for a class or a summer camp sort of on a one-off basis, but now we're trying to engage and encourage more long-lasting multi-week projects with either schools or summer camp programs so we can have a longer lasting impression with students. And Kaitlyn can talk more about other stuff.
Well, these education programs have also enabled us to be able to work with schools on actually composting in their lunchrooms, which has been a really amazing opportunity for me.
You guys are nosy and meddlesome, you know?
I can't help it.
I think it's great.
So we're actually working with 2 schools in Portsmouth. We're working with Hathaway Elementary, where Eva attended, and also the Penfield School. And so we are working with both of them right now to actively compost and divert their lunchroom food waste from the landfill, which has been really exciting, and it's been really great to be able to work with students and teach them all about the ocean and the environment.
Do you, when you make these presentations, is that when you try to enlist them to become interns or present intern capabilities, the volunteer opportunity, or is that separate?
I guess it's a little bit of both. I think as we become more involved with these students in the school, and depending on what age they are, they have reached out to us asking if they can volunteer at events for us, how they can get more involved, and so I think that sort of aspect of having high school students getting more involved with us on a regular basis outside of their school time is going to grow naturally.
And I think the goal too is to inspire kids and spark an interest in the environment and in caring about the ocean. So I think, we don't go in there saying, oh, we need to recruit, 10 high school kids. But, they then find this is a passion for them, right? And then they reach out because they know that they can express their passion by working with us.
Before I forget, I wanted to mention something that our producer-director mentioned, that there's a marina trash skimmers in Portsmouth here. What exactly does that involve? The trash skimming is. my imagination says that you're in a boat and you got a rake and you're pushing across, or you got like a butterfly chaser and you're taking stuff out of the water, or what is that exactly?
Yeah, so it's a 4 by 6 foot dumpster pretty much that floats on the surface of the water, and it's connected to a floating dock. And it basically pumps water into the machine, and it collects floating marine debris and oil sheen off the surfaces of the water. And so we have 6 in operation. One of them is in Portsmouth right now within New England Boat Works, Newport, Rhode Island, Fall River, New Bedford, Providence, and Stamford, Connecticut.
You guys are expanding. You're getting powerful. We better watch you. Well, I see we're getting near the end of our time. Is there any message that you want to leave the public that would support and enhance your work and help it?
Yeah, I think that just if you are curious and you want to know more about Clean Ocean Access, you can give us a call, send us an email.
You have a phone number?
We do.
You're not going to make us yell from the shore. Sorry. You have a website too? I think it's on the screen anyway. And is there a phone number at your office?
Yep.
Yep, I think it's also on the screen.
Okay,
Yes.
great,
Yeah.
great. Well, you survived.
Survived.
Well, I want you to feel that in the work that you do, which is pretty important, that this operation here is always available to you to
Thank you.
not be a stranger. We have a bulletin board that you can put announcements on.
Okay.
Awesome.
Well, Eva, thank you. And Kaitlyn, with a Y, thank you very much. I'm sorry, I'm a tease. Thank you very much for watching Portsmouth This Week. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.
The founding of Portsmouth, Rhode Island was made official on March 7th with the signing of the Compact of 1638 that established the official settlement. The Compact was the first document in American history that severed both political and religious ties with England and has been called the first instrument for governing as a true democracy. The Portsmouth, Rhode Island Historical Society, in cooperation with the Rhode Island State Archives, will celebrate Founders Day on Friday, March 6, 2020, at the Portsmouth Town Hall, starting at 11:30. Also on display will be the Portsmouth original copy of the Declaration of Independence. The document will be available to the public for viewing from 11:30 to 1, and there will be a brief ceremony starting at 12 noon that will include remarks by Portsmouth Town Historian Jim Garman.